let me ask you this: as far as the crypto conversation, you guys obviously hold a lot of Bitcoin. I think you said $7 billion in Bitcoin, right?
Well, our fund itself is we have $7 billion under management currently.
For the whole
Mhm.
crypto, in the crypto.
Exactly. And then we use that money to basically invest into the world's best companies along the space.
So,
Very smart.
all right, you guys are very bullish on Bitcoin. I'll follow up with Ian's question because I think you might have forgot that part. But how long do you plan on holding Bitcoin, and what other cryptocurrencies are you guys interested in or invested in, or like what's your thoughts on the cryptocurrency space for other coins, XRP, Ethereum, outside of the big boy, which is Bitcoin?
Look, I think that when you think about just the future of tokens, one of the things that we're extremely excited about. So you have these things, without getting too technical, there's layer ones, which are kind of like mini supercomputers that are built into the internet. So those are kind of like the Ethereums of the world, the Bitcoins, the Solanas, you name it. Those are the core ecosystems, right? But then one of the things that what we're seeing continuing to emerge and where we're very excited in exploring is these what we call like L2 ecosystems. So they're built off of the Ethereum blockchain, and then you have companies like Polygon or Optimism or businesses like that, where now they're building their own they're building their own technologies that are going to continue, that you can build off of. So if you're a developer, you can build off of Optimism, you can build off of Polygon, you can build off of Base, which is a company project in L2 that Coinbase recently just did in partnership with Optimism. And so that gives you the ability now to have to leverage these layer ones, but more so create new businesses that then can help scale the underlying infrastructure. And so these are businesses that we're always excited about and constantly seeing more and more of them involved. Another one that I worked really closely with was a company called ApeCoin, Yuga Labs, and then they launched an ApeCoin. That's a layer 2 ecosystem. And so within that, they have now you can actually, if you wanted to buy merch from Yuga or the Bored Apes or from CryptoPunks or you name it, instead of you just spending US dollars or you spending Ethereum, now you can actually use their own currency. And I think that's extremely exciting because now you're going to start to see these interoperable economies that are going to start to come off, where traditionally in a dollar currency situation, it's only based off of US dollars. So at some point there could be an EYL token. And now if you want to go to the next EYL show or the next conference, the only way in order to purchase that is with your own economy. And so, and these are things that are extremely exciting because this is where the future of Web3 evolves. But it's super important for us to continually making it as easy as possible, because I know this is a super technical discussion in terms of like where the possibilities are. But once it actually gets to what I kind of call the application layer, and quote unquote hiding the wires, where you might not, in the next couple of years, you're going to be using crypto and not even knowing that you're actually interacting with the blockchain. I mean, a good example that we talked about was kind of how the history of the GPS system, right? Like when you use GPS, you don't think, oh, I'm about to interact with this GPS technology. You're like, yo, I need to figure out how to get to the nearest Starbucks, or I'm trying to go to the club tonight. Like, how do I get there? But there's actually a whole technology platform, and actually it was co-founded by a Black woman as well too. So back in the day, and so that has created whole new companies. I mean, without GPS technology, there would be no Uber, there would be no Lyft, there would be so many platforms and companies that have built off of this underlying technology, and you didn't even know it, right? Same thing with email. Like the SMPT is a actual protocol. Like an email is really a protocol similar to a lot of these protocols that are in Web3, and it was super super complex for anybody to actually be able to use this. So by building a simple system like a Gmail that, you know, can actually remove a lot of the infrastructure and a lot of the wires and allow you just to interact on a daily basis, that gives you the ability to create brand new technologies. And so now when you think about, you know, the next generation of crypto or Web3 and having these layer 2 applications, that it's very similar to thinking about that as the kind of GPS of 3.0, right? And so people were going to start to build these new platforms that, you know, the next social network will be able to allow you to take your users and only have one login and be able to go from this platform to this platform and still be able to migrate all your data and have everything controlled on your personal keys. And I think that that's really where the next generation is going to move forward, and where we're super excited about investing into the next big company in the space.
Chris, so if the next generation is going to move forward in that direction, we need to be a part of it. I always compare cryptocurrency to the aircraft that is taking off, and we can't get left at the gate. But
we can't do it. We can't do it.
Yeah, we got to have our boarding pass to this, right? So,
absolutely.
One of the things, the barriers that people face is number one, trust, security, and lack of education around the space. And so, yes, a lot of this conversation is a bit technical. So if somebody is just getting introduced to the space, they're watching it now because they've seen it. Ian called it at 20, right? It was going to go down to 20. Now it's at 41. Yeah. Imagine people are saying, I don't want to get left out. I'm going to invest. Yeah. Where should people be getting their source of information, right? Because there is no textbook on this. I know we've had this conversation before where, yes, you studied a lot. Where are we going? Are we reading white papers, which is like telling what's happening inside? What are we doing to get the information? Where should we go?
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, I'm a big believer of you know, one, you can go to a16zcrypto.com. I'm fortunate enough to work with the greatest minds in all of the crypto industry, and so we have, you know, daily blog posts and quotes and content, and you go on our Twitter website. Like, our team only delivers the facts and always wants to kind of deliver where the future of the spaces are going. So I would highly encourage you to go to a16zcrypto.com and, you know, stay up to speed in terms of, you know, we have so much content that if you end up reading all that information and you know it like the back of your hand and you're tired of reading it, you can please email me and for a job application, because we would love to have you, because that the amount of technical and, you know, professional resources there is extremely important. My partner, Chris Dixon, he's also launching a book that's going to be out next year, which is it's titled Read, Write, Own. And a lot of it actually kind of goes after what you just said, is that there's so much information. And we actually heard this when we would, you know, go up to the Hill in DC, and they'd be like, well, what book should I read to get educated, to learn about the history of the space? And so, like, he actually has a book that's going to be coming out early next year, and you can actually pre-register it right now on Amazon, and we'll make sure that you get a copy. And maybe we can even figure out a way to do something special with, you know, with the EYL group, and in terms of making sure that we can kind of do some sort of promotion. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anna, come on, let's talk about it. But that's all. You know, Chris is literally one of the pioneers in the space, and he's going to really deliver some great information. And so I'd highly encourage you guys to check out that book when it comes out. But the most fun thing for me personally is actually just to go try and buy it. Like, go try and buy Bitcoin. Go try to, like, you know, mint an NFT. And because it's really hard. It sounds hard at first, and it's because most people have never done it before. And then so, like, you know, once you buy $50 worth of Bitcoin or mint one NFT, then all of a sudden you just naturally start gravitating it and watching it a little bit more. And then you'd be like, oh, wow, my $50 went to 75. What happened? And then you might click on a news link, and then you'll see, you know, that the ETF, you know, is getting closer, or something just happened in the regulatory space, or there was new technology, you know, breakthrough that happened. And a lot of people say they don't understand crypto, but have also never even tried to get into the actual application. It's like saying basketball is hard and I never even dribbled a ball before, right? And so the best way to actually get interested and get into the space is to actually try it. And if you don't know how to do it, I mean, the easiest way to buy crypto right now that I'd recommend, that's also the most secure and the most safe and doing things the right way is through Coinbase. And, you know, make sure that you have two-factor authentication so that you keep everything stored and safe, and put your money in a vault. They have a digital vault that allows you to, you have to have multiple passwords and keys in order for anybody to actually take it out. And so, you know, and then they also have great info and news articles that they constantly post on their website as well. And so these are just like little simple things, but you know, once you get in down the rabbit hole, it's kind of like the Matrix. Like, do you want to take the red pill or the blue pill? But once you realize that, oh wow, this is a much different and better alternative than what the current ecosystem has been doing, it's kind of hard to go back.